So long story short, it appears that a couple of billionaires, one Ishbia, one unnamed billionaire, but it's not Dan Gilbert, have chipped in, and Tucker's going to be making a lot of money. Michigan State's going to re-up him for, I think, till 2025 or 2026. I got to get the exact date. Everything's all lined up. Everybody's on board with this. Mel's agreed. The people who have the money agreed. Heck, Mike, the Board of Trustees have agreed. Everybody's on board with this except for one person. And no, it's from with the university, but it ain't Alan Holler.
It's Samuel Stanley. Just say it.
Well, Mike's
Christ.
Can I set the story up?
Sorry.
You know, people are probably bored because I just can't get this story the way I want to do it. And then you wonder why I have the look on my face before the show. Because I knew you were going to do this. You were so on brand right now. Anyway, so yes, it appears to be that there's a bit of a power struggle, that one person is holding this whole thing up, and everybody wants to get this thing done. As a matter of fact, I think there may be some sort of a deadline that if it's not happening, money may start getting pulled. And not just from Tucker's contract, I mean pulled from the university. So it would behoove them to get this thing done. Everybody's on board. Yeah, sounds like the president is not. Sounds like the president feels like, I don't know if he wasn't involved with this enough, but he is holding up this process, and everybody wants to get it done. So for anybody wondering what's been going on with this, yeah, they've agreed upon a number. Listen, put it this way, Tucker's going to be living large if the number is true from what I've heard. So there you go.
I'm sorry. Am I invited back?
You are invited back.
Okay, well, here's what Rico's leaving out. It's just very important. See, this is what happens when school presidents act like little kids. See, Samuel Stanley's upset because he doesn't have his athletic director. Let's go back. He wasn't exactly keen on hiring Rico's close personal friend, Alan Haller. So now you have a president who didn't get the AD he wanted. He's sitting here watching Mel Tucker get launched into space, probably making in excess of $8 million a year. The board's on board. Izzo's on board. The football program is on board. The billionaires are on. And really, let's just face it. When billionaire boosters, whether it's T. Boone Pickens or Phil Knight or whomever it is, when they say jump, you say how high.
It comes with the money.
Right. It's not your money.
And that's just it. It's not like the money's coming from the chemistry department.
Right. They're not taking money from like the Zoolander school for kids who don't read well.
Right. The money's not coming from the social sciences department.
Right.
It ain't coming from the forestry department.
Right. We're hawking parts from the cyclotron.
Right. It's basically the money is there.
Yeah.
Think about it,
pathetic.
man. The fact that it kind of reminds me of like years ago when it was the whole Luana K. Simon, Tom Izzo thing. And Izzo was like, well, I'll show you how important I am.
Izzo gave her the double hockey sticks.
Right. They didn't hold a candlelight vigil for you. They did for me. Nobody wanted me to leave.
Look, it's the same, and I don't have any patience for it. Look, at U of M, call it what it is. Schlissel's been a big holdup when it comes to the NIL.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't good. See you later. School presidents need to just
get out the way.
Aside. Exactly.
You know what?
Run the university.
Run the academic stuff.
And let athletics, when billionaires want to pay for things, pay for things.
Yeah, because when football is winning, attendance is up, people are happy, people are donating money.
So what's the deadline? Is it still what we discussed?
It appears they would like for it to be done this week. They would like for this thing to be hammered out and done.
Can they get rid of Stanley? What's the process to getting rid of him?
I don't know.
Can the board just be like, we don't like you no more? Get out?
Probably not, because it's probably a checks and balance type of thing. It probably is like some law.
Well, there's got to be an ability to remove a president.
No, I'm saying it is, but it's like a checks and balance where you got to prove that this person's an idiot.
No, he's an idiot because he thinks somehow he gets to say how much the football coach makes when it's not his money.
And that's what I don't understand.
It's ego, Rico. Come on.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And I do think it had a lot to do with, you know what?
He didn't get to pick the AD.
He didn't, because everybody was just like, what are you doing? Well, we're going to do this national search. No, we're not.
Right. The community rallied around Alan Haller.
We already know who the guy's going to be. But what about, what did we just say?
That's who Tom wanted. That's who
got our guy.
Mel Tucker wants. And that's how it works.
It was who every Every former player was saying that.
And look, if you're a Michigan State fan, just understand something. We've never really worked in this world before. Like Oregon has been run by Phil Knight for years. You can think whatever you like, but when Phil Knight wants something, it gets done.
Right.
If Phil Knight wants the team to practice in front of him while he's nude eating carnitas, they'll do it.
Right.
When Phil Knight says, I'll build you a basketball facility, but you're going to make the court look like you were tripping on toad venom, they'll do it.
That's what it looks like.
Oklahoma State, when you're funded by an oil billionaire and he says, this is what I want, this is what you're going to do. I want the team to wear black this weekend. You're wearing black. Michigan State
Coach, we're going to wear orange.
Right.
No, you're not.
Now, Michigan State hasn't had that before, but now they have the blessing and the curse of billionaires dueling, which is great. Look, they had one of their own hit it big, and he's worth 13-point-something billion. It's not your money. So Step aside and let's get the Tucker deal done and move on. Look, here's the bottom line for me. Nobody remembers the name of a school president. Nobody cares. Samuel Stanley is a speed bump on the highway of life.
Here's the thing. If you do your job right, nobody knows who the president is. Nobody knows who the athletic director is.
Like University of Michigan will be around long after Mark Schlissel is a bag of bones 6 feet under. Michigan State University will be around long after Samuel L. Stanley's tenure is over. These guys end up in an ego battle because they don't like it that football cretins and basketball cretins make more money than they do. And that's really what it comes down to. The problem is when you get your feelings involved with business decisions. This isn't about feelings.
Right.
Mel Tucker or Jim Harbaugh, they captain ships that make 50, 60, 80 in the case of Michigan
They drive
football.
the university. Let's just be it's
$100 million.
They drive the university. Nobody shows up to watch some kid's science experiment.
That's right.
But over 100,000 people show up to a football game.
It's never about what a person makes. It's about what they produce.
Exactly.
If someone like LeBron James could make $100 million a year and I wouldn't be offended because he's worth $1 billion. He provides that. The valuation for whatever franchise LeBron plays for increases to the tune of $1 billion.
Right.
And when you leave, you lose that.
And for Michigan State, I think the number's going to be high so we don't have to go through this every year.
Right. Well,
because I mean, look at that. Like over the weekend, 3 more jobs opened up. This morning, Virginia Tech opened up and Washington opened up. Like jobs are opening up left and right. They struck gold. Go in and get Mel Tucker.
Be done with it.
And at the time, it looked like they overpaid for him. $5.5 million for a coach who had a losing record 1 year in Colorado, but he became a hot commodity. And they were like,
here's the practice.
We don't want to do this.
Here's the practice what you
war.
preach moment too, just for Michigan fans, so you don't think I treat it any different. If you don't want to give your coach a raise, get rid of him. Like the same thing I would say to you is if Harbaugh finishes the season with 10 or 11 wins, I mean, if he makes the playoff, beats Ohio State, you better give him a raise. Yeah. You better give him a new contract.
Either that, just give him his original contract back.
Right. So my point is, with Mel Tucker, I'm fine giving him a raise. And if he goes out and has another big year next year, I'll give him another raise. Like, you're either paying your coach or you're finding a new one. And for Michigan State, they're all in on football. They're all in. And guess what? Izzo's going to get a new deal out of this. Who are we kidding? You think Tom's going to watch Mel Tucker make double the money he makes and be there for 10 minutes? No. And give Tom a new deal. It's not your money.
Let's see, Tom has that rolling deal, so he technically gets a new deal every year.
But you know what I'm saying.
I got
They'll sweeten the pot.
Yeah.
It's not your money.
See, that was it right there. Because I specifically asked, and they're like, nah, man, it's the money. It's coming from these guys. They want it done. They agreed upon it.
If they sold the cancer ward at a hospital, the president should step up and go, hold on a minute here.
Right.
But nobody's getting chemo. We need a field goal kicker.
No. And
it's
here's
just
the thing.
Not your money.
Here's the thing. From what I gathered, if that new football practice facility, $32 million thing, that may not happen. That may get pulled off the shelf.
So explain to me how Samuel L. Stanley would survive.
I don't think he would. Mike, I think at this point he's being super petty. I think he will eventually give in, but I'm dragging my feet. This is everybody's in the car, and they're waiting on Stanley to get out the shower and get dressed so we could go. Everybody's sitting there, they're blowing the horn, and he's going, hey, wait a minute, I just got out the shower. What do you mean you just got out the shower?
You know what I'd do if I had 13-point-something billion dollars? Let me tell you what I'd do. You're paying all this money to get Tuck an extension and all this stuff. You're building a football facility. You know what I'd do? I'd fill a couple of duffel bags with like $2 million. All in singles, right? I'd drive it up in a truck. and I pull it up right in front of Stanley's house, and I drop it off there. And Stanley comes to the door, and he goes, what's this? This is the amount I'm paying for you to F off. Have a good day. And then I'd go over to, like, Ponchero's and get an apple burrito and be done.
So
like,
you're paying
honestly,
him to get this thing done, or you're paying him to leave?
I'd pay him to leave.
Oh, okay.
I'd pay him to.
Because I'm not paying you $2 million to do your job.
I'd pay him to bleep himself. Like, when you have that level of money, $1 million, $2 million, what is it? It doesn't matter. You make $1 million every 10 minutes.
Right.
I'd pay to listen, Sam. Point taken. All right. You've shown us all you have a huge Johnson. Now, here's $2 million. Get the hell out of my way. That's what billionaires do. You pay to make things move. You pay to grease the wheels.
Well, and I think
David, you're embarrassed at that comment? It's the truth.
No, I think a lot of
I was just scratching my face.
I think a lot of presidents.
I thought you were embarrassed of me like Rico.
No, not embarrassed.